Located 7 miles northeast of Venezuela, South America, is the island of Trinidad. In 1498, Christopher Columbus and his crew landed on the southern tip of this landmass. Weary and in desperate need of water, the island was a welcome sight to these distant travelers. Though originally colonized by Spain, it was seized by Britain in 1797. The rich soil and tropical weather proved profitable for British plantation owners until 1807, when slavery was abolished. This created a great shortage of laborers to work the plantations, a vacuum which was filled in large part by bringing indentured servants from India. It is this chapter in the history of Trinidad and Tobago which makes this island nation truly unique from other countries of the West Indies. Trinidad is culturally diverse, and East Indians comprise the largest ethnic group on the island, accounting for 40% of the population. Hinduism is a prominent religion in Trinidad, a fact that was illustrated vividly to us when we first arrived on the island. We flew in on the night of Diwali, a Hindu festival that celebrates the goddess Lakshmi. As we made our way from the airport to the house we would be renting, we were surrounded by the festivities of Diwali. Children were setting off fireworks, and thousands of little clay lamps known as diyas decorated the yards and houses of Hindu dwellings. We had never heard of Diwali, and didn't realize there was anything special about the day when we purchased the airline tickets. It was later explained to me that the whole concept behind this holiday is the idea of light conquering darkness. Looking back, it seems fitting that God chose this night to bring us to Trinidad. The Bible describes Jesus as the true light, and in the epistle of 1 John it declares, "This then is the message which we have heard of him, and declare unto you, that God is light, and in him is no darkness at all." It is for this purpose that God has brought us to Trinidad, to dispel the darkness of false religion with the true light of the gospel. In October of 2004, we started Aruka Baptist Church. We had been praying about a location to start a church and actively searching for a suitable place to rent. We had followed several leads and gotten nowhere when my wife saw an ad in the paper that read, "Small Church for Rent." It was this ad that God used to lead us to the building that has now become known as Aruka Baptist Church. As with most new churches, growth was slow at first, and our ministry was primarily to children and teens. But God began to bless, and soon several of the older ladies in the community began attending. As the ministry progressed, we then began to see some of the moms of the children we were ministering to start to come. It felt like things were really starting to roll along good when the end of our 3-year term started drawing near. The government of Trinidad and Tobago will allow missionaries to be in the country for 3 years and then requires them to be out for 1 full year before they can reapply for another missionary permit. Thankfully, we had partner missionaries who kept the ministry going in the year that we had to be away. In December of 2007, we returned to Trinidad for our 2nd term. Since then, we have continued to work to establish Aruka Baptist Church. Growth has been significant during this term, and I believe there have been some key components in ministry that have allowed this to happen. First, Vacation Bible School. This annual event, which has been a part of the church since 2005, has done more to promote the church within the community than any other single event. During the week of VBS, kids get points for bringing visitors, and our highest award goes to whoever brings the most visitors. In addition to the many children that come to Christ during this week of ministry, it has consistently generated new contacts, many of which stay long after VBS is over. Our biggest service ever at Aruka Baptist Church was last year's VBS award ceremony. There were well over 150 people in attendance. Another ministry that has been key is one that picks up where our VBS leaves off, our Kids Club. This weekly kids ministry provides a way to turn the one-time excitement of VBS into regular church attendance. We started this ministry during our first term, but it was only open to ages 8 to 12. We have since broadened that scope to include ages 5 to 7. Most Fridays we can expect to minister to anywhere between 30 to 40 kids. Regular contact is essential to effectively impacting lives for Christ. For this reason, we have a youth ministry and a young adults ministry to continue to provide for this necessity at all stages. Also, our ladies ministry. Our ladies normally meet once a month during a church-wide event where we have a men's meeting and a kids meeting taking place simultaneously. We rent a nearby facility where there are separate spaces for the men and ladies to meet. Meanwhile, the kids enjoy games, singing, and a Bible lesson at the church. My wife conducts the ladies' meeting. It usually has a theme, which the crafts, door prizes, devotion, and even the food is centered around. Sounds fun, right? Well, that's exactly what the ladies in Trinidad think. Most importantly, it provides a non-threatening environment in which ladies in the community can get to know our church. Lastly, I would like to tell you about an annual event that has greatly affected the church's growth, our anniversary service. October 24th, 2004, marked the first Sunday morning service at Aruka Baptist Church. As is customary among the churches in Trinidad, this special date is celebrated every year with a special service in which the whole community is invited to come out. This event generates excitement about the church and has a visible effect on attendance in the weeks to follow. Last year, we had 130 people celebrate the church anniversary with us. It is during events like these that you can really see how much growth has taken place and can begin to glimpse the tremendous potential in Aruka Baptist Church. We currently set up overflow seating under 2 tents that we recently purchased, but a more permanent solution is necessary. For this reason, we have started raising money for the purchase of land and a building. Please pray that God would provide the resources to make this dream a reality. Indeed, this term has been ripe with difficulties and struggles, but it was also full of blessings and rewards. Seeds that were planted in our first term began to blossom and grow, a joy that we would never have experienced had we not gone back to Trinidad. It is for this reason we are anxious to return for a third term, to see what God has in store for the ministry of Aruka Baptist Church and the island of Trinidad. Will you help us return so that we can continue to shine the light to those that are in darkness?